Hey everybody, Bart here, and I just wanted to make a quick video about upper body mobility. If you've seen a lot of my videos, you know how I like in my warm-ups to do upper body stretches that are dynamic. And so I'm going to share my very favorite exercises for the upper body, and I'm going to talk about how to do them very, very specifically. That way you do the best stretches possible. So this first one is movement. It's not so much as it is a stretch, but if you've ever had major shoulder injuries, you know, reaching directly out to the side, that might be quite a bit of a stretch. And so your arms might be further forward, away from the midline of the body. So arm circles, just doing your heart's content, focusing on 10, focusing on 8, just do it. Just do a bunch. It's not gonna hurt you if you do 15. We'll take the arm circles going backwards, so I'm moving the entire shoulder joint around. I usually don't count at all. I probably end up with 20 to 30. All right, 10 huts. So I'm working my forearms together, and then I'm gonna inhale, squeeze my shoulder blades together, exhale, retract my shoulders, or protract my shoulders. So I retract my shoulders, I protract my shoulders. So my shoulders come back and in, forward and down. Back and in, forward and down. So I'm moving a lot of muscle groups here. You can do it quicker and do more of them, but what I want you to take away from that is that pinch in the shoulder blades, that opening of the chest. We talked about in that last video about proper standing posture, how it's characterized by the chest up, shoulders back and down. Okay, next exercise is arm across. Now you've heard of arm across, you've seen arm across, you've probably seen it done badly, poorly, and a lot of people propagate poor arm across stretches for this sole reason they don't care. They don't want to listen, they don't want to change. That's not our problem. You can do it perfectly. So with my arm across stretch, I'll take one hand under the other. So in this case, right hand under left forearm, left hand is face up. I'm going to bend my knees and I'm going to stretch across, and as you can tell, I'm not lifting the shoulder, bringing the arm out of the shoulder socket. I'm trying to keep my shoulders nice and level. What I'll do is I'll turn my chest and spine. So I'll get more of a stretch back here in the rotator cuff. I'm not going to be doing dangerous positioning of the arm at the shoulder joint. If I'm up here, I'm kind of out of socket. If I'm down here, I'm located. I'm in socket, and I'm turning my body instead of twisting and awkwardly moving the arm at the shoulder joint. All right, so I keep this elbow low, kind of like the 10 hut, but I'll take it across probably right here at what we call the sternum or the breastbone, or just below it, working across. Also breathing, so work your breath. Relaxing, opening up my lat. So with this one, I'm working on reaching up. So I'm reaching up out of the shoulder, but I'm also doing a slight lateral bend, dropping my right ear over, reaching length out of the fingertips. I'm opening up my breathing muscles. I'm opening up the lat muscles. It's muscles for pulling, punching. All right, working that other side. Taking that right arm overhead, embracing your inner ballerina. Sometimes I have some of my students practice this up against the wall. By doing this, you might feel a little safer and you might be more motivated to stretch harder. I don't know, could be. When I'm just doing general stretches, even at the gym, I'll make up surfaces. So it could just be a flat wall. It could be the side of a cage, or it could be just a horizontal or a vertical beam on a piece of equipment. And so I do door jam or chest opener stretch. I do this with the thumb up, right here, and I usually step into it. So if I have right arm up, I'll step right foot forward. Sometimes I'll do a light twist. Usually I'm trying to lift up, like I just swung and made a home run or something, like I'm about to let go. I know it's not the right angle, but you feel kind of like a built-up momentum or a potential energy. So working that other side. Sometimes you have to get creative. Right now I'm using the actual door crevice. I'm not really holding the frame. And sometimes you have to compromise. I like to do that stretch holding on. You can always do that stretch with the hand flat. You can practice this without a wall. It's a heck of a stretch. It's a lot of work for the hand. There's a lot of tiny muscles in there. And it's a lot of work for the fingers. If you do a lot of this, you need to spend a lot of time doing this, which brings me to my next stretch. Stretching the fingers. I don't really pop my fingers. Sometimes I'll stretch them out and they'll pop a little bit, but I'm not trying to pull at the top. I'm trying to pull from the base. So I'm not picking on one group of phalanges. I'm using all of them, because that's what these are, your phalanges. So I'm stretching the phalanges. I work the wrists right here a little bit, working the fists, stretching each of these finger muscles, because you might not have gripped something hard. You might not have been gripping anything. You might not be lifting weights. You might not be carrying your groceries very far. You might be using Instacart, so working grip strength. That's a great indicator of heart health. How hard is your handshake? It's also a great way to tell if you trust someone, or someone will be agreeable with your personality. I know not every weak handshake is an indication of someone's character, but it's a great way to demonstrate your character. So having a firm handshake or working grip. So doing exercises where you're gripping something heavy, regularly. Not necessarily every day, but it's good for you, and it's good for you to do in both hands. All right. That concludes my video on, say, basic upper body mobility. We can get more complicated as we go along. It depends on how prolonged the shutdown period is, but I'm willing to reinvent the wheel, and so stay tuned for more videos. We'll be having lower body mobility next. All right, take care of yourself.